everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I have an exciting video for y'all. I am going to be sharing my entire polish pickup collection that I have accumulated over the last 2 years. And then in order to prevent you from buying as many polish pickup shades as I have, I'm going to be sharing some of my tips to avoid FOMO, especially when it comes to boxes like polish pickup. Alright, I have a lot of things I want to talk about, so let's get this video started. I should probably also explain what polish pickup is in case you're not familiar with it. Essentially, it's just a bunch of different nail polish businesses coming together to make one single polish every single month under a new theme. And then all this is sold on the polish pickup site where you can buy from each maker all in one purchase. I think I first discovered polish pickup just through watching some YouTubers swatch for it, and it piqued my interest. My first purchase from polish pickup ended up being in April 2023, which is kind of crazy because that's 2 years ago now, and I feel like I just discovered it. The theme that month was deadly plants, and I bought 2 polishes that month. The first one was Bee's Knees Lacquer Belladonna Berries, and the second one was Kathleen & Co. Field of Flowers. Belladonna Berries is actually what made me pull the trigger on actually purchasing from PPU, because I had been following it for a couple months prior, but nothing really interested me enough until Belladonna Berries came along, and oh my gosh, I'm so happy about that polish because it is one of my favorite polishes in my collection now. So I'm definitely glad I bought that polish. The Kathleen & Co. was my first time trying that brand, and I think I had a good experience. I wasn't used to having polishes with those square bottles, so that was interesting. I still don't really love it if I'm being honest, but the shade itself is fine. Honestly, I didn't really know what to expect with it, but I'm glad I tried it. A couple months later, I bought in Polish Pickup's Rewind, which is in July of every year. I didn't mention, but essentially each month when they do their collaboration, each polish is only available for a few days, and then it's not able to be brought back until it's rewind time, where a lot of the time fans will vote to bring back each polish from each maker. It was my first rewind, so I went a little bit crazy and I bought 4 polishes. The first one was Lumen's Glass Frog. I really like this polish. I didn't really have any shimmer toppers at that point in my life, and it just looked unreal in the pictures, and I felt like I really needed it. I also bought Sassy Sauce Polish Glampire. I honestly kind of only bought it for the hype. It didn't look too interesting to me in the pictures, but I'm so glad I did because I really love that polish. And it has spawned a few siblings since then. I think you can buy a very similar one called Cockadoodle Doom on the Sassy Sauce Polish website now. I also bought Girly Bits Polish Universal Language. This was the first time I ever purchased from Girly Bits, and I had a good experience with it. The polish was really pretty, and I'm glad I purchased it. I also made my first polish purchase. This was Send Nudies. It kind of sparked a little fascination with polish shades that you might see later down the line. A couple months later, I purchased from the PPU Dreamscapes month. This time, I only bought 2 polishes. One was Polish for Days Interstellar and Polish Salvador Dali. Both shades are absolutely amazing, though very different. Polish Shade has definitely become also one of my favorite shades. You might see this as a recurring theme because a lot of the PPU shades are absolutely amazing. That September, I went ahead and purchased from the Haunted History month. This was the infamous Polish for Days Goblins and Ghoulies. I love that it was inspired by the Haunted Mansion ride at Disney World because honestly, I'm kind of a scaredy cat and I was a little bit intimidated by all of the really spooky shades that were available that month. I also bought another polish shade. This time it was Calling the Spirits. This one did underwhelm me, and I did end up desashing it later. The next month I purchased from was the Fairy Tales and Folklore month. This time I was trying to be good and I only purchased 1 polish, which was from Wildflower Lacquer, which has now rebranded as Royally. But I got Frog and Toad. I mean, the inspiration was just so cute. It was named after the little Frog and Toad books. But I also love green shimmers, and I didn't have anything like it in my collection, and I'm so glad I bought it. It's absolutely stunning. This is actually the only Wildflower Lacquer polish I have, and I would like to keep trying them because I did have a good experience with them. The next time I purchased was for the Flowers theme in 2024. This time I picked up 2, which were Polish for Days Angel Wings and Garden Path Lacquer Blessed with Beauty and Rage. It was my first time trying Garden Path lacquers, and I really liked it. The formula was very unique, and I think a lot of people went kind of crazy over this polish, and it's many siblings that spawned after this. I think it's a very unique shade, and the teal green micro glitters in it really make it stand out. Angel Wings was also a stunner, and I took a risk with buying it because honestly, I don't really love pinks that much. But I'm glad I bought it because, oh my gosh, that one is really shifty and I feel like it looks more green and blue than it does pink a lot of the time. The next time I purchased was for the wild animals theme. I picked up another BKL. This one was called Hot Dog, and it looks kind of simple, but oh my gosh, it absolutely blew my mind. The pictures that I took of it do not do it justice. I want to wear it again because when I wore it originally, I only wore it for a couple days before it got all scratched up. But even when it was all scratched up, I loved wearing it, honestly. I could not get enough of it, and I want to wear it again very soon. That's probably my favorite type of formula from BKL, like the very smooth, like creamy shimmers. I can't get enough of them. And if you can believe it, the last time I actually purchased from Polish Pickup was in July of 2024, again for Rewind. I purchased 3 polishes. One was Phoenix Lacquer's Girl Dragon, which everyone raved about when it first came out, so I wasn't really impressed by it, but I decided to pick it up anyway. If I'm being honest, I still have not worn it. Yes, I know I purchased it in July of last year. Still have not gotten around to wearing it. Like I said, I didn't love it when I first saw it, and I bought it anyway for the hype. Still haven't gotten around to wearing it. I have put it on other people, and the glow was kind of crazy, but I'll let you guys know once I put it on myself. Another polish I bought for the hype was Dream On Lacquer's Shake Your Shamrock. If I'm not wrong, this was like the 3rd time this polish was re-released, and I had noticed it since it was released the first time, but I kept skipping it, even though I love neon greens and I love shimmer polishes, just because something about it wasn't particularly interesting to me. I don't know why. I did end up buying it, and I don't remember being especially wowed by it. I mean, it did have like a interesting formula, and I did enjoy wearing it. I mean, like I said, I do love shimmers and neon greens, so it's not like I was gonna hate it or anything, but I wasn't like as impressed as I thought I would be. I think it was overhyped for some reason. The last shade that I bought that Rewind was Polish's Mad Woman. Now, honestly, I really wanted to buy that one originally when it released the November prior, but I was being really good and only bought one that month, and I skipped it, and I regretted that decision ever since. So with some campaigning in the Facebook group, eventually we got it to be brought back for Rewind, and of course I immediately picked it up. I was so happy, and it is beautiful in person. Alright, now let's get on to the second portion of the video where I'm going to be sharing some of my tips to avoid FOMO, which Polish Pickup is kind of built around, but I promise there's a way to shop it and not give into the FOMO. Also, if you don't know, FOMO just stands for fear of missing out, and essentially a lot of people will make purchases because they think that these polishes will never come back or they'll never see anything like it ever again, so therefore they should buy it just so they don't miss out on it. My first tip for avoiding FOMO when shopping for Polish Pickup is to look at the spoilers beforehand. Yes, it kind of takes a little bit of the fun out of it, but the Make Your Spoiler thread on the Facebook group is super fun. And the point behind this is to get as much time as possible to have those polishes resting in your mind, and so you can really think about a few times over if you really need that polish. Because if you wait until the shop opens and then you only have a few days to actually make your decision, I feel like you're more likely to make that impulse purchase than if you were to see those polishes almost a month before they actually come out and really think about those decisions. The next thing I do actually involves me making a list of all the brands that I don't like to buy from, whether it's due to just formula inconsistencies in their polishes, poor customer service experiences, or other issues. Because sometimes I'll see a really pretty polish and I'm like, oh, wait, but doesn't that maker have some issues? And then I go to my list and I'm like, oh, well, let me not buy just because of all these prior issues that I've heard about this brand. Then once the shop actually opens, I bring out all of my swatch sticks to compare to the listings that I'm seeing online to remind myself of what I already have compared to what I'm seeing on the screen. Because sometimes if you just see like 100 different pretty colors on the screen, you kind of start to forget what you actually own. And if you ever do just have to miss a polish for whatever reason, it's always good to remind yourself that a lot of the time other brands, if not the same brands, will try to dupe themselves. Because if one brand has a very successful polishes, basically all the other brands will try to do something similar and maybe even like the other version better. And even if they don't, I know Polish Pickup itself has the Rewind month where they will actually bring back those polishes if they're popular enough. I also like to familiarize myself with brands that don't participate in FOMO things like Polish Pickup does. Some of these brands are ILNP, KB Shimmer, Polish for Days, and Cracked Polish. Also, something that I have done ever since July of last year is essentially just practice restraint. Yes, you can look at all the pretty things and you won't miss out on feeling all the feels, but you don't actually have to buy the polishes. Practicing restraint is a good idea in general, so might as well apply it to PPU. You can still look at and appreciate all the beautiful things that the makers are creating without actually needing to buy. And even if you do really want something, you still don't have to buy. You know, these are supposed to be treats for us. If it becomes something that you feel like you have to do, you have to buy something, it's kind of taking the fun out of it. And it feels more like you're pressuring yourself into doing something, even if part of you doesn't really want to. But if you're telling yourself you have to, then maybe it's time to take a step back. My last piece of advice is that honestly, you lived a nice, happy, fulfilling life before you saw whatever product it is that you're looking at, and you will continue to live that happy, fulfilling life after that product is no longer available for purchase. I promise you guys, you can do it. That wraps up all the tips I have for you today. Let me know if you actually want to see me go through this process during an active polish pickup shopping time, so you can see how I would apply it to the polishes that I'm looking at in front of me. I know this was a very long and chatty video, but thank you for sticking around and for watching the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!